Can this instrument here be the link to solve all your problems and transport you anywhere you may dream of going? Yes, that's right. On Tech I Want, today I'll be reviewing the Ocarina of Time.
No, you're using it backwards.
Yeah? Okay.
No. I mean, you're supposed to breathe through the instrument.
Ah, yes. That explains a lot. So this item right here is actually not a blue ocarina from a very famous N64 game of the past, but rather it's the Oumwa. The Oumwa is what's known in more clinical circles as an inspiratory muscle strength training device. Basically, using the Oumwa, or a device like it, helps build up the muscles that help with breathing, such as the diaphragm. The Oumwa is a handheld device that you use while inhaling. It's similar to a puffer or asthma device that you use when inhaling. And new research coming out of the University of Colorado of Boulder says that using a device such as the Oumwa or any other device like it, just 10 minutes per day at fairly high resistance could be equivalent to, if not better, than actual exercise or medication when it comes to helping with your breathing, especially for those people who may have respiratory problems or of the aging adult community.
It's a funny world we live in.
Which means that it can also help against cardiovascular disease, especially as we get older. Exercising breathing, as a concept for good health, came around during the 1980s. Originally, doctors believed that it would take about 30 minutes per day in order to see some results, but now new research shows that it's about 10 minutes per day at very high resistance. And yet, devices like this, more commonly nowadays, I see being used by athletes who are training their breathing muscles to become better athletes. And that brings me to the major question I think we're all asking ourselves: can the Oumwa, or a device similar to it, make me more athletic? So, now how does that apply to you? Well, here's a little anecdote just to think about. A marathon runner, when they start to fatigue and get tired, what's happening is that their breathing muscles are actually stealing oxygen from their leg muscles. Now, what if a device like this means that you could train your breathing muscles to be so strong that they don't need to steal oxygen from your leg muscles, meaning that your leg muscles can run for longer, meaning you can run for longer? Well, that's a theory behind strength training devices such as these, with results like those being even more pronounced with those just starting their training. Although this is just a theory, the major problem is that many of the studies which are recording and studying the athletic performance are conducted by the very organizations which are creating, marketing, and selling products just like this one. So there may be some bias. Honestly, using the product was really fun, but it was really difficult for me to understand how effective it was at improving my performance. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm breathing through the device, and then there's an adjustable meter here that allows me to adjust just how much difficulty or resistance there is. Similar to breathing through a straw, where I'm able to adjust the diameter of the straw to get smaller and smaller and smaller until breathing becomes really difficult. I personally found 4 to be the best resistance for me, where I could breathe through the entire process and yet still have a good enough resistance. That brings me to actually what's unique about the Oumwa, and that is that you can turn it around and actually practice while you're breathing out as well. I think if I had more time with this device, I would have noticed more physical changes. Rather, what I noticed were more emotional or spiritual changes. Spending 10 minutes each day focusing on my breathing gave me a time to kind of meditate, to think about things, self-reflect. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from this, is that it's more of an exercise for the full body, mind, and spirit. Pledging $79 USD will get you the Oumwa from this California-based Kickstarter campaign. One of the things I have difficulty with is that $79 is fairly steep, especially when comparing it to other breathing devices out on the market. One thing I do like on their Kickstarter page is that they say the benefit of the Oumwa that the other respiratory devices don't have is that you won't get any strange looks while you use it. Nothing strange going on here, right? In the end, respiratory devices such as the Oumwa may seem like a hoax, but the science suggests that they actually work. They can be used for athletes to see real gains in their performance, especially for those just starting their athletic career. But even more changes can be seen while using it as a respiratory device for those with respiratory problems, illnesses, or just any aging adult wanting to take better control of their health. One thing for sure is that the Oumwa is a compact, personalizable, and easy to use device for helping with your breathing. And no one's gonna stare at you while you're using it. Thank you very much for watching. That was the Oumwa, and if you'd like to find out more information about it, you can check out our website, where you'll also find more information about other innovations out there in the world. Remember to give us a big like and a subscribe. And until next time, I'm Rafi with Tech I Want, and we're out.